Hi, I'm John and I am coming to you today as the Purple American. The Purple American is a blog project that I developed, originally about 10 years ago when I was tired of looking, probably more like 12 years ago, I was tired of looking at the red and blue maps. And back then, they were doing this. You're a red guy, you're a blue guy, and they didn't seem to account for anything between red and blue. There was no green, there was no other color but red and blue. Well, now the maps are changed. They do kind of blur in a lot of purple in there when they start showing the maps at election years or where Americans vote. And my process is basically simple. You know, if you look at those new maps, they really are representative of more Americans being purple than either red or blue. That was fake. And so I grabbed the domain, thepurpleamerican.com, and I started doing some blogging, and I tend to focus on it around election years. And now I've decided it's time to bring this up out of the dustbin again. And I think it came to a point in 2010 at the Rally to Restore Sanity in Washington, D.C., hosted by John Daly and Stephen Colbert, and I went there as the Purple American. I had some purple ties, got a big purple cape, and I had a sign, and I went there with a couple 100,000 people. But the one thing I did before I got on the train in Alexandria is I flipped my sign over. I wrote, "Between the red nuts and the blue nuts hang the rest of us." And I'll show a picture of that here in a second. And as I was walking to the train, and as I was walking to the rally, and as I walked around in the rally, I got a lot of people asking me what I meant by that. And then I followed up with, well, you know what, the red nuts and the blue nuts really are the non-thinking wings of both of those parties. That is the mob mentality ends of the parties, where they craft a simple message for those people who do not want to think. They can say, well, yeah, those three things over there make me red, so I'm red. Or those three things over there are blue, that make me blue. And they close their eyes to everything else, when in actuality, most citizens of this country, I believe, are somewhere between the red and the blue wings of the parties, especially if they think. Hence the Purple Americans. And my follow-up support to my catchphrase is, you don't have to be my shade of purple, just admit that you're some shade of purple. And there are some tests for that, but we won't go there. And what I want to do, though, is point my Purple American energy at Donald Trump. And I want to assure people that Donald Trump knows exactly what he is doing when he starts calling out illegal immigrants as criminals, murderers, thugs. Is it nice? No. Are most illegal immigrants criminals, murderers, and thugs? No. Does the government of Mexico feed some of those to us? Probably. Just like Cuba did, you know. But why would Donald jump into a presidential race and basically, by all accounts, dismiss one of the largest voting blocks necessary to become president? Number one, Donald doesn't care about being president. To be president would mean to basically have him drop his drawers, bend over, and expose his personal and business life in ways that presidents have to, which would negatively impact his ability to be a functional president in this country. Number two, presidents don't make enough money for Donald Trump, and he would have to distance himself from most of his money. Number three, and the most important thing is, Donald has tested this message with professional firms. Donald just isn't barfing this stuff out. Donald has planned this for one reason. He wants to be a factor in the immigration debate. Now, that does sort of conflict with the fact that it seems that a lot of illegal immigrants are building his new hotel in New York, but you know, Donald doesn't care because he doesn't want to be president. He likes the Trump brand to be flying high. He wants people to come down to his casino and hotels, and Donald Trump wants to make a difference when it comes to this next presidential election, and when it comes to the debate. And one of the primary issues that will probably, or would have probably gotten just passed over with promises of change, as it is every year, is the immigration issue. We have had some things happen in the last 4 years that I think has raised the average citizen's ire with how we are addressing immigration as a nation. And when I say we are addressing, I mean our politicians, because, well, theoretically it's we the people. We the people are the government. These jokers that we elect just happen to apparently not listen to us the day after the vote is done, and they go do whatever they want. California and many states, illegal immigrants can get driver's licenses. I'm just giving you a reason why some people are mad. Well, at a base level, that driver's license is representative of citizenship in the state and the nation. Yet somebody who broke a law to get there can get this driver's license. Now, listen, I understand why it's good that these people have driver's licenses. Trust me, if somebody that is an illegal and criminal alien in this country is driving down the road and smashes into your car, you would like the police to be able to find out where they live, find out if they have insurance, and be able to help you recover from whatever happened. Maybe they even have insurance. Maybe they can actually get insurance when they have a driver's license. They can't get insurance when they don't. They're completely undocumented. And this is where the only place I think the word undocumented should be used. Because undocumented immigrant is, even to me, is, well, crap. You know, undocumented, in for example, drivers. They're an undocumented driver, but they are criminal illegal aliens. I don't care how you wrap it up. You know, if you want to just have an open heart for these people, for the conditions in Mexico, I understand that. But let's call them what it is. They are criminal illegal aliens. And most politicians, I don't think very many of them will actually step up on the podium and say, you know, we'll find a way to embrace the criminal illegal alien population in the United States, whether it be 13 million or 30 million, whatever it is. They won't say that. They'll call them illegal immigrants. They'll call them illegal farm workers, undocumented aliens, because it's kinder and it protects their access to the very powerful Latino and apparently separate Cuban American vote. So Donald knows exactly what he's doing. This is a scripted act. He is a showman, and it has done wonders for his candidacy for president. He's number 2 in the Republicans, and the Republicans can't move away from him fast enough. But guess what? They can distance themselves with the chatter, but ultimately he's opened up that manhole where the septic tank is overflowing with pissed off Americans that are wondering why this country can't come up with a real immigration policy that basically stops the illegal flow, the illegal criminal flow of both future wannabe citizens, criminals that are among them. Mexico sends us some of those folks. I absolutely guarantee you the Mexican government says, hey, this is where you can get into the United States. Would you just go there? Because we know statistically that the government in Mexico is one of the most corrupt governments that we have borders on. Oh wait, we only have borders on really 2 nations, so that's well, the bottom line is we know that Mexico is in a state of civil war, barely can hold its head above the cartels, and it is one of the most corrupt regimes in the Western Hemisphere. That's not news. So some of what Donald says is right on. It's ugly though. It is very ugly. If he said this about, you know, if Donald Trump said, you know, we need to buy more prisons because Americans who happen to be black are just committing way too many crimes. If he said that, wow, imagine. But guess what? I would absolutely guarantee you there's a lot of Americans that think more prisons for those who commit crimes statistically more than others is a good thing. So, Donald Trump is not a fool. He is a loudmouth. He does wear bad hairpieces. But he's rich enough to know what would be in his best interest. And if he didn't know, he can hire all the professionals to wrap messages up that can help him express that. And it happens to be right now, he is expressing what a lot of Americans wish other politicians would express. And since they can't find a way to do it gentler, you know, Donald Trump is just trumping them with his giant foot and stuffing that giant foot in the immigration debate in the form of his candidacy for president. So, yeah, don't hate Donald. Look through the message and the marketing and understand what he is doing is being done because nobody else is addressing this quiet anger that is building up in this country about the immigration issue. I am the Purple American. I will be doing some more of this because my wife says I need to. Therefore, I am going to get back in the groove here, and I appreciate that you listen to this. If you have any questions or comment, hey, you know, I'm a believer in free speech and the First Amendment as long as you can do it without calling somebody else out. So, have at it. And understand, I will respond to those who can bring something better than Donald Trump to the table. And because that is what is necessary. We actually need to be able to have these conversations without using broad strokes to criminalize a group of people because we think that's what is necessary to start the fire. And if you have any questions, you can go to my website and send me a note at thepurpleamerican.com. In the meantime, have a great day.